hoes no more, that's a no-go. I let them go in slow-mo, I just ghost them, yeah, no show. I'll tell you something most don't know, straight up by a homo. The best love you could ever find is homegrown.
Toronto 3.5 years ago. I've always been interested in music since I was very small, but I started DJing how long ago now? 6 years ago, when I was 18, and yeah.
Any tracks, albums released, on what label, date of release, and where it is available for sale or for download?
I self-released all my music so far, so the last project that came out was called Kalima, and it came out last February, and then I have Badlands, which came out December or November 2016, and just now I've been releasing singles independently as well, and Milkshake just came out about a month ago, which is like a houseier track, but I'm rapping on top of it.
Events that you organize alone and with the crew?
Everything that I do is with the crew. I think there's always strength in numbers, but I'm in the Rude Collective currently, and Rude has signature events throughout the year. We just finished a Pride event, and then we have a Caravana event coming out on August 3rd, and also Ravens Vision, which throws events every couple months, usually at the Beaver, but we're leaning more towards becoming a record label.
Do you work with other artists, like collaborations and so on?
Yeah, I've been starting to more now that I kind of have my footing as a musician and I know what my style is. Now I'm starting to branch more into collaborations, but mostly I've been solo.
Music and art, how they work together, and what are your feelings about music and visual arts?
I am also a visual artist. It was what I wanted to do before I wanted to become a musician, so it always plays like a huge role for me, and I also wanted to be a music video director before I wanted to seriously pursue music. So I'm always thinking about the visual component of the music, whether it's just what I'm going to perform in and how a performance is going to look, or the actual album art or a music video to go with it.
Symbolism in your music art?
So the last release that I put out, Kalimad, relies heavily on symbolism from Hindu mythology, and specifically one goddess named Kali. She's like the goddess of destruction, but has been misunderstood in Western texts as being evil, whereas she actually was created by, she's the first female goddess, and she was created by male gods to kind of save the world from an evil takeover. And I was going through a rough time, and I found a book on her on the ground when I was walking, so it kind of, it just kind of, fell into place.
Yeah. Interesting. What's your style of music?
I'm like, I'm a rapper, but my beats are more like on the electronic side. Like they still have like a hip hop influence and a club influence, but there's just a lot of like techno and house that you can hear in my music. I have a very diverse musical background, so I feel like it all comes out in my production.
So censorship, what is it for you?
Censorship? I feel like it's people imposing their views on artists, and I don't really think it has a place in art. There's this Boards of Canada song called One Very Important Thought, and I was a big Boards of Canada fan when I was a teenager, and it's the last song on their album, and it's they actually lifted it because there was from the end of a porno film, but it's this woman talking, and she said, you may find yourself sitting as a juror in like a so-called obscenities case, but if someone can tell you what to see or read, it follows that they can tell you what to say or think. So it's like, I think it's like a human right to be able to look at things unfiltered. Yeah.
Okay, next question is, what's your philosophy?
That's very broad. Wait, can you narrow it down a little bit?
Well,
like on life, like my life.
Like kind of like your personal manifesto on life.
Yeah, that's very it's very broad. I guess it would be to better yourself before you try and better the world, and to aim to live a life that is full of balance and free from judgment. Yeah.
The milkshake. So tell me more about it, and also what's the one thing that makes this song solid? Let's start from there.
It was maybe the second time I'd cut up, or the first time I had used a sample in a DAW and cut it up and actually made it into a song. So I think that's like the most solid part of the song is the drums that I used and the way that I used the sample and manipulated the sample. Yeah, it's about one of my best friends, Mark Shea, who is in the Rude Collective with me, and just how inspiring he is and how great of a dancer he is and how fun it is to go out and dance with him. That's what I was inspired by when I wrote the song.
What's your favorite performance venues in Toronto?
To like perform in, or to like throw parties?
Like throw parties, perform, like play live.
That's tough. I don't know. A lot of like great venues have shut down. I would have said Les Bar if it was still open. I miss that place a lot. But I love performing at Handlebar. It's always really fun to perform at Handlebar. The Beaver is always fun. Yeah, it's always fun to throw shows at the Beaver for sure.
What are barriers for the scene in Toronto specifically, and what's the next step?
I think noise complaints are a huge barrier. Noise complaints, venue closures are a huge barrier, and just like the general threat of gentrification is a huge barrier. And I think the next step is to just like keep fighting for more spaces, but also to like utilize the spaces that we aren't using now. Like I think there, especially in like electronic music, is like a pretension with like the spaces that you party in and everything, or like the look of the spaces that you party in. And I think it's going to be really valuable for the scene to kind of embrace venues that are atypical and new and unused.
How do you keep yourself creative? Major influence and inspiration?
I try to not put a schedule on my creative flow. Like I feel like it's really important to allow your creative flow to guide you instead of the other way around. I guess my biggest influences would be like Missy Elliott is a huge influence for me, and then I don't know. There's so many. Like I love like Black Flag is like one of my favorite bands ever. Same with Death Grips. I'm like a huge Death Grips fan. I'm like a big T.I. fan as far as rap goes. And right now I really like Megan Thee Stallion, and I really like Saweetie and Asian Doll as far as rappers go. And I've been listening to a lot of Ghetto House and Ghetto Tech.
All the love you